And we're live.
And we're live.
Yay.
All
Hello,
right.
everyone.
So we will wait for people to trickle in
Yes.
before we get into the nitty gritty funness of
So I
this
can see
Saturday.
people that are watching, but then I can also see comments that come in. So if anyone does have like any questions or comments, I'll let you guys know. I'll even show it on the screen too.
Well, aren't you just so fancy, Miss Brittany?
We've done enough interviews.
Yeah, we have. We've actually had some great interviews with some really interesting paranormal peeps
Yeah.
that, I mean, we find it uber interesting going down the rabbit hole with them. We hope people enjoy going down the hole with us.
Definitely.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, we're here
Yes.
tonight because we are going to talk about an amazing event scheduled for this Saturday that we're very excited about. And it is the Lights and Shadow fundraiser event for the Edison Museum at Menlo Park, which we're super excited for.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
So we'll restate a lot. Of this, but just to start off, for those of you watching after the fact, because Britt, you're going to post this after we go live, right? Like as a video?
It's automatic. So
that's a yes. So cool beans.
Yep.
So for those of you who don't know, first of all, if you don't know who Thomas Edison is, first, get out of a hole. You know what I mean? Welcome to America. Thomas Edison, not only America, but the world. Thomas Edison was known worldwide as this amazing inventor. But the Edison Museum at Menlo Park was legitimately the location where he invented the light bulb, his thing, what he's known for. It was done here at that location. And Ronnie, you joined us.
Are you back?
One try.
Yay!
Right.
You're better. Okay.
So,
hey, everybody.
Before we went live, Ron was having technical difficulties. He was having a Zach Baggins moment where he legit sounded like a demon through his headset. So he's fixed that since then.
Oh my goodness. I can't.
Well, we're happy to have you here, sir.
Yes.
In your Supernaturals shirt. I dig it. Let's see it. Let's see it.
For anyone who's seen Supernatural, the show.
The television show Supernatural.
Yeah, the show, yeah.
Anyway, we were talking about the location and the fundraiser, and to introduce our special guest for this evening, Miss Kathleen, the all-knowing, all-powerful Edison guru, is here with us to talk about not only Thomas Edison, but the location and everybody's opportunity to buy tickets to investigate said amazing location that Ron rudely interrupted my introduction of.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I can't.
So. Apologize.
Love it.
Yes.
All right.
Anyway.
Let's get to talking.
So for those, I'm just going to say off the bat, for those interested in investigating the place where not only Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, but his wife unfortunately passed away on said premises, please visit the event on our page. It's on our website. It's also on the museum's website, I believe, or they set up a Facebook event. You can still buy tickets.
Yes.
A ticket will not only allow you to investigate inside the museum, where there are some amazing artifacts that we're going to have Kathleen discuss, but it also allows you open reign to investigate the premises where his laboratory was, the boarding house was, his house was, where his wife passed away. You legit get to investigate this amazing park. Basically, it's a park.
It's a great location.
Yes.
Honestly.
So welcome, Kathleen.
Yes. You have the floor.
Well, we're very excited to have this event with all of you, and all our new friends are going to come and buy tickets for the event. So the Thomas Edison Center is located at 37 Christie Street, Edison, New Jersey. And some of you may have already been there or you've seen it, but there's a really big tower, about 131 foot. It will be lit because it's lit every night. Big light bulb on top, of course, lighting the way. And we're excited to be working with Epicedium Paranormal to see what's out there.
Yes. Well, we've had the pleasure already to investigate the location.
Mhm.
And we had some amazing stuff happen with our Estes method sessions, dowsing rod sessions. And we believe we were communicating with the children of
Mhm.
Thomas Edison. So that was really cool. And I just loved watching, Kathleen, I love watching your reaction and Marissa's reaction when we were where their house stood and we were doing the Estes method. That was so cool when the two of you were just like, oh my God. Like, I love watching people's reaction when we get such cool responses like that.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, the chills running up and down my arms. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it
Yes.
was amazing. We're really looking forward to even doing this bigger and better and having a lot of guests come. I mean, we are a 36-acre state park. We're not going to do all 36 acres. We're going to do the main area where the people were living and working. I mean, this is really a vast history. Edison would move to the site in 1876. And as you mentioned, unfortunately, his young wife dies there at the age of 29. But so much activity was before, during, and then after that, that it is an incredible site that, as you stated, people come from all over the world to see. Just
Mhm.
today, we had a family from Scotland. That
Yeah.
is not at all unusual.
Oh,
It's all people visiting.
Mm-hmm.
that's so
Well,
cool.
back in the time when Edison was alive, it's not like the internet and worldwide television existed. So
Mm.
for somebody to be known worldwide was a huge feat. It was basically like him and Tesla, correct? That were like could be known from anywhere.
Well, like, unfortunately for Tesla, he wasn't really known at that time. His name will come out later, and he really wasn't around doing anything like that, at the Menlo Park period. That
Mm.
always gets pushed in the timeline when people tell that story, but it's a little bit later. Tesla will become really popular after, of course, the car, Tesla. That's
Mhm.
really when most people will, oh, that
Mm.
guy, who was
Yeah.
amazing, by the way. But he did not work at Menlo Park. So Edison would create 400 different patents. He worked with an amazing array of people, immigrants from all over the world just during this period at Menlo Park. He'll go on to have 1,093 US patents, 1,250 foreign patents in 34 countries. And as part of your tour that you'll be in the museum, everyone will have that opportunity. You will see some of the original items. We can even play some of them because some of them do work. Edison's known as, which is kind of cool, ties in with all of this. He's the wizard of Menlo Park because he created so many amazing things. Because really, some of the things he was doing, people couldn't even comprehend.
Mm.
They thought,
Mhm.
like, how could someone do this? They did think it was magical. Not everybody, but a lot of people did. And some people still think it's magical today. So we're thrilled to bring people back and have new people come and visit, and then hopefully have more people come visit in the future to our site.
Yes.
Definitely. I love how history, like, draws so many different people from so many different walks of life, and that, like, goes on throughout time, it seems like. So it'll always be an interesting location to many people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
that.
Famous people did visit during that time. And then we get a lot of people. This is really interesting. I've always been a history buff, but it's amazing how many people come and they say, I really didn't like history when I was in school, but wow, is this cool? So sometimes you grow into it. I
Mhm.
mean, we had
Mhm.
two people today. I don't think they wanted to leave. They were like having such a good time. They were enjoying it. It's really it's an experience. And that's what you'll all have. You'll have an experience coming, especially for this program.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a great experience when we investigated there a couple months ago. And speaking of all the patents and everything he had, I mean, his laboratory was set up there on site where he employed countless people who worked endless nights
Yeah.
and not out of being forced to. They had enjoyed working with Edison and creating these inventions. And while we were there, we think some of the people we connected with through the dowsing rod sessions were perhaps maybe some of his employees or inventors who helped him create some of these great inventions that you have displayed in the museum.
Well, Edison did like to work at nighttime. We always say he's a little bit nocturnal. He would have
Mm.
like his dinner, at midnight or later.
Mhm.
I don't know, he just drew his inspiration that way, but yeah, his workmen said, they had a great time, but sometimes it was beyond the limit of human endurance, but they loved it and they would never trade that experience.
Mhm.
Wow. That just proves like how powerful passion is. You're
Yeah.
passionate about what you do, and being around other creative or mindful people like you about that one topic and that one thing. I mean, I can only imagine Edison and being around him, like his mind must have been like so magnificent. I can't even like imagine like having his brain. You know what I mean? Like it's like what I mean, for that time period, it was just so magnificent to be around someone like that, I'm sure. So
You
everyone just wanted to learn from him.
I
Yeah.
agree. I think he was just really inspirational. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, I don't care what you're talking about. If you're excited about it,
Yeah.
if you're passionate about it, you're taking me along on this ride. And I
Mhm.
love that. That is actually the most fun. I really don't care what the subject is. And it's
Mhm.
just your passion just like bleeds through and it kind of envelops me. And, we're hoping that that kind of passion will come to everyone.
Yes, for sure. And that is one thing we experienced while we were there. The energy there is so not to be punny, but it was so electric, the energy there. And it was a different kind of energy that you get from other paranormal locations in that, a lot of times you might run into spirits who are lingering because of the trauma or whatever the
Mhm.
extreme circumstances of their experience there. But at your location, they're there because of the admiration and respect that you all have had for them over the years. You've treated
Yep.
them in such a positive way. They're not there because they're angry or pissed off. They're there because they are still relishing in the experience they had while they were alive, working at that location, being around Thomas Edison, being maybe his child or his wife or whoever people might run into Saturday, because the possibilities are endless.
Yep.
But it really is such a good vibe there. But you could still hit up all that paranormal activity, which we're definitely looking to have on Saturday.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. I can't
So,
wait.
what can you tell us about some of the artifacts that you have in the
Mhm.
museum that people might be able to? Obviously, everything will be treated with respect and we will only interact with the things we're able to, but like what might be some of the artifacts that people can interact with while investigating our Saturday?
Well, some of the amazing things are we actually have some testing equipment that he had bought when he had been on a trip to England. And so we've got that in case there. We have original eyepiece, like a jeweler's loop of Thomas Edison's. And then we have original phonographs, actually, an original lathe that was used in the machine shop there. And then we have original generators and photos and original newspapers with Edison in them that we have displayed on the wall. And then one of the cool things is, and this year is the 100th anniversary, we have a model of the lab made out of pieces of the original, and it was given to Thomas Edison in 1922 in October. So
Wow.
we're kind of excited because we're celebrating that. So it's
Yeah.
actually like it's got the wood, it's got the feeling, it's got that like you said, that electricity. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
and this, I'm not kidding, and I think I've told all of you, when people come, they tell us there's something like positive. It makes me feel, good. It makes me feel like I come here for inspiration, and
Mhm.
we
Mhm.
feel the same way. We do. We all feel the same way.
I believe that
Yeah,
100%.
definitely.
Definitely. Don't you also have some musical instruments there, right? That people that actually are working.
Mhm.
We do. We have phonographs. That's what Edison called the first machine to record and play back sound. We have a number of them, 5 on display, and we play a few of them for everyone. Some of them are over 120 years old with original recordings, and they're amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
that is actually the highlight of all tours, are hearing and seeing these really beautiful machines. And you know what, Edison, if it had his name on it, he wanted to make sure it worked well. these were built to last.
Yeah, not like the iPods of today that die like 5 years later,
It's like
right?
any technology I feel like of today.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
probably
for the most
dating
part.
myself just talking about iPods because now everybody just uses their phone, right? Like, I mean, MP3 players, right? But yeah, I mean,
It's
to
so
think that
cool.
it's still lasting this long with the original music isn't, and you know, that is a huge trigger for paranormal activity. When
Mm.
you have that kind of working artifact, it could bring spirit out because they hear a song that they're like, oh, I remember that song. That's great.
Mhm.
And they'll come out and they'll enjoy the party. When we were in that room playing that music, I remember we we had a great moment with you and Marissa where we were doing the dowsing rods and we were like, can you please point to Kathleen if you know who she's, and they pointed right at you. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes.
And
How could you forget?
your face, it was amazing. And
Yeah.
for those who haven't seen it, we actually do have a video up on our YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to provide all of our experiences that night in the video because there was just traffic outside because you are kind of near a main road. But like the dowsing rod sessions are in that video, and it was an amazing time. It truly was. We really appreciated the opportunity to come there and
Definitely.
investigate. But I still love just people's reactions when stuff like that happens, especially
Right?
those who are like, you know, and then all of a sudden they're the first ones in the room being like, oh, shoot. Like,
It was completely unexpected. Yeah, it was really wow.
yeah, yeah,
I love it.
yeah. It was a great time. And we're not only hoping, but we're expecting just as much activity there this Saturday for anybody who buys a ticket, which, how much are they, by the way?
25.
They're 25, and
That's a bargain.
if you're members, you come in, for 20, because we do have a lot of members. We're thrilled that we can provide this experience to all the different people coming. We know that everyone will really enjoy it. There's so many different parts to this whole process that you all are going to do and host. It's going to be amazing. And I think people are really going to experience fun and learn a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
For sure. Because if anything, I mean, $25 is a bargain just to experience the park and the museum. Like, like to be real, right? So even if you're just coming out and you get to experience things with other people, but we'll definitely be walking around hoping to like, we're encouraging people, bring your own equipment. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Experience your own experience because this is your opportunity to really have full reign of the park and the museum when you're able to. So come prepared, people.
Yes. And we have a list of recommendations that we provided, which is on the museum website
Yes.
and the event page.
The Facebook event page. Yes.
And the ticket page.
If you don't have paranormal equipment, you don't need it. Like there's literal apps for your phone you can download to have a great time on Saturday. So just bring a flashlight and your phone and you'll be
Mhm.
fine. But you know,
Yep.
if you can bring an audio recorder at the very least, I can almost guarantee you'll find some great EVPs after the fact. So please,
Definitely.
please come prepared. But if you're not, you'll still have a great time.
I can't wait.
So how big was Edison's laboratory that was situated there?
Well, there were 5 main buildings, but the biggest building and the first building that he had built there was the 100-foot long by 25-foot wide 2-story laboratory. And now, where that stood is where our tower stands today. Now, the tower, the Edison Memorial Tower, was dedicated on what would have been Edison's 91st birthday in 1938, February 11th. And so even that in itself, and it's such a beautiful monument. It really is. There's a giant, almost 14-foot light bulb on top. It lights every night. It's probably lit right now because it's getting dark outside. And it's really incredible to look at this gorgeous, Art Deco. And then the museum stands on, it's a much smaller building, the museum, than the machine shop was, but it stands where the machine shop once was. I mean, you're literally walking where Edison and his men were, traveling back and forth to the different buildings. Some of them lived on the premises as Edison did, and we'll be walking down to that site, where his house once stood. And we have done 3 different public archaeologic digs there in the past. Always find amazing things. And so this is such a rich historic place. We can't wait to have everybody come and experience it with us.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, just let alone just that tower with the light bulb on the top. I mean, I got some incredible pictures. I mean, I even have like a picture on my phone for the wallpaper. Is I have that picture as my wallpaper, the one I took.
Mhm.
I mean, just alone like that right there is
Yeah.
incredible. I mean,
Nice.
it's a great experience all the way around
Mhm.
Yeah.
for being there, definitely.
You could
Yeah.
see, for those who know of it, you could see the light bulb from the Hudson River. Like, that's how monumental it stands, like
Yeah.
above
Yeah.
ground. So it's really cool. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, like when you're standing right next to it, you're like,
Yeah, your neck hurts. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, it's the highest point on the along the line of the old Pennsylvania Railroad, now our Northeast Corridor from New York to Philly.
Wow.
So it's pretty high. Yeah, it's pretty nice. And years ago, before all the tall buildings were built and, all the trees have, grown up because the area used to be like farmland, you could see it from the parkway. You could see it from a lot of major roads. It's not as visible. The winter's a little bit better because the
Mm.
trees are all clear,
right.
but it's still gorgeous. It really is.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. I can attest to that.
Yeah. Love
Same.
it.
And again, like the community too, like rallies around your museum, which just adds to the great energy and environment of the entire experience. So we're looking forward to helping other people get introduced to everything there, because it's a hidden gem. It really is a hidden gem of history on the Northeast for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, you're right. And we hear that gem. We hear that all the time. That is such a perfect word. I mean, we do have plans. The nonprofit does want to increase the size of our very small but really well appointed museum, because we don't want to turn away class trips that come and big groups might want to visit. But we manage. We really, I think we do a good job trying to get everybody in there right now during the week, because now, fortunately, masking has dropped in a lot of areas and schools are opening up a little bit more. So we've got a few class trips coming back. We used to be booked like all spring,
Wow.
Mhm.
until the summer came. I mean, and like 5 days a week, we'd have trips coming. And we're happy that we're starting to do more and more. I mean, people really love it. They love coming. I had a reporter contact me the other day. She's going to come next week and do an interview. And she said, I'll always remember my class trip there. And she's like, I really want to introduce this to other people.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what we want to do with even this experience. We want to
Yeah.
introduce ourselves to others, let others enjoy it. We want to share with all of you.
Yes, and it's
Yay.
going to be amazing. And like you said, the museum is tiny but mighty. It has a lot of amazing artifacts, amazing energy, great things to see. But, the hope is to expand it one day. So
Mhm.
for those purchasing tickets, not only are you helping towards that goal, but also you will have an allocated time slot to investigate within the museum itself. Because obviously, we can't let a horde of people in the museum all at once. So as you buy your ticket, you're signing up for a time slot
Mm.
to be able to investigate within the museum and all the artifacts. And don't get me wrong, like the museum's great, but the grounds are just as great, because you have where the laboratory was, where the boarding house was, where Edison's house was, and all of that will be free reign and open to everybody who buys a ticket at any point in time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it is a worthwhile adventure for those who can get to Edison, New Jersey.
It's like a whole historical package.
It is
Yeah.
True.
a paranormal package of lights and shadows.
Love it.
For sure. And we're excited to go back. I mean, we've had the ability to investigate, and even we're like, yes, we're going back. Let's do this.
Definitely.
So it's a great time. So
Yay.
we hope everyone, if you can see at the bottom of the screen here, we have our
Mhm.
little ticker going with the museum's information, our link tree, all of it will point you in the direction of how and where you can buy tickets. So we're excited. And our YouTube video on our investigation is also on our website and
a
our
link
YouTube
to-
channel. and in the link tree. It's everywhere because
Everywhere.
we want you to be able to find it wherever you are.
Oh, the social media.
Oh, I love social media. We really want you guys to all come down and enjoy this site. Check it out for future events and future fun things to do. I mean, it really is incredible. The things that happen there. I mean, the way investigation was done with regards to inventions was created here. And the people were young. Edison was only 28 years old when he came to Menlo Park. Everyone always thinks, oh, he's this old guy. He was 28. These guys they were young, they were hungry, and they were inspired. And, those are great things to have together. And so
Mhm.
hopefully we're going to experience a little bit of that also.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yes.
Yay.
So for those who are fans of the Big Bang Theory, picture that. Only like 100+ years ago, okay, in Edison, New Jersey. Picture your Sheldons, your Leonards, your Wallowitz, and your Kuthrapalis just inventing these amazing things out of fun and inspiration at all hours of the day.
Yeah.
And I don't know, does that make Penny Edison's wife, who passed away down the street? I'm not sure, but
Yeah, I could picture that.
maybe. I hope not. I mean, I like
No,
Penny.
no. The whole camaraderie, like that was a perfect, picture
Example.
setting.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So picture an old style Big Bang Theory at Edison Museum at Menlo Park. But yeah, and we're hoping to tap into a little bit of everything there. Like, while we were there, like I said, we tapped in with what we think were his children.
Yeah.
And potential inventors who worked for him in while we were inside the museum. But the possibilities are endless. Because like we said, his wife passed away there. There were so many people who lived and worked there and devoted so much of their time and energy there that I can't imagine that they wouldn't at least come to visit, to be like, oh man, do you remember that night when we were here with Edison and we made that thing?
Yeah, right.
Like, I'd want to.
Yeah, well, people, they used to call him the old man, even though he was 28 and he was younger than a lot of the people that worked with him.
Yeah.
But I think he just had such an aura.
Mm.
He drew people to him,
Right.
and it was powerful. And a lot of the men that work with Edison at Menlo Park worked with him for the rest of their professional lives. And I've read a lot of interviews from them, because in order to join this team called the Edison Pioneers, who would later build the tower that we have outside, they had to, explain who they were and what their connection was. They were like still sounding awed by what happened there, that they were such a big part of. So it really does have this like amazing dynamic history, and we think present, and we even think future. So come all and enjoy it.
Could you tell us about the day or evening that Edison debuted the light bulb?
Yes. Well, Edison had a number of people who were helping fund this, because research is expensive, and Menlo Park is known as the birthplace of modern research and development. It's called like a team approach research. So Edison, he didn't invent the light bulb. He perfects incandescent lighting. They had light bulbs out previous to that, arc lights, and other people were even working with incandescent light, Joseph Swan over in England. But Edison was so sure of this system that he's like, yeah, we're going to show it on New Year's Eve. I already told the newspapers to come. But his funders, people were investing with him, were a little nervous because, like anything else, it didn't work every single time. It was getting better and better and better. But that's the thing with him. He had such a deep belief in himself and his men that he put all this news out into the newspaper, and people came by train, they walked, they came by buggy. At midnight, Edison will turn a wheel and he'll light the world's imagination with this light that was so beautiful. See, even though they had lights, as I mentioned, the arc lights, they were so bright and blinding that they weren't practical at all for indoor. What Edison will create with the support of his men at Menlo Park enabled lighting eventually to go into people's homes, their businesses. it changed the way we lived.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even for many years after he invents the light, people don't have sockets in their house. So
Right.
Edison, you know, there's no electricity. It's only for the light bulb. So Edison actually will be one of the founders of a company that today you all know as GE, but it was known as Edison General Electric. So then he'll be creating electric fans. He'll help, you know, help electrify sewing machines. Like he's really just thinking, what else? What next? What to
Mm-hmm.
make people have a better life? And when he said one day we're going to use electricity to heat and cook, people thought this guy's crazy. How could we live without all of that today?
Yeah,
Right.
for sure. I mean, look at what we're doing right now. What would you think Edison would say, seeing our ability to communicate right now using electricity
Yeah.
over this digital platform? Like, he would probably be like, why didn't I think of that?
You know what? Mind blown. That's why, because, you know, we were talking, I have a lot of images, like old newspapers I was explaining and talking about before throughout the museum. And I'm like, you notice how on the newspaper it's all drawings? They did not even have the ability to put a photograph inside of a newspaper at that time. Now we can put them in the sky and
Yeah.
other things that, you know, we do. You know, he is a man who grew up as a boy watching the Conestoga wagons opening up the west of the United States. And then he's friends, you know, with the Wright brothers. You know, I mean, it's crazy when you think of this amazing history. And believe me, there were a lot of brilliant people at that time. And that just seems to be happening in history. You get these, you know, gluts of amazing, amazing people.
Definitely.
For sure.
Sure.
And some of those amazing people right now work at the Edison Museum at Menlo Park.
Hey, full circle.
So we're super excited to be there Saturday. And because every time you go, you learn something new. You know what I mean? We've been there a few times now, and it's every time we're just like, whoa, that's so cool. So
Exactly.
we hope others will have the same experience. Well, we know they will. We know that they'll have that same experience. So we're excited. And again, for those of you watching, please check out our website, the museum's website, our link tree, all of it for your ability to get tickets for this Saturday. I mean, honestly, $25 is a bargain. Not only do you get the historical aspect, but you get the paranormal aspect on top of it. I mean, what a better way to spend a Saturday night.
And you know your money's going to a good cause.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. That
Yeah.
too.
For sure.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
Definitely.
it's a good cause too, just like as a side note. 100% of the proceeds goes towards the museum. So you know you're gonna have at the very least a great time while also helping to build the community.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
So come on down.
oh, no. Checks all the boxes. Entertainment, check. History, check. Helping the community, check.
Preserving
Being a cool,
history.
yeah, observing history, check. Being a cool human being, check. Doing all the checks.
I love it.
Yes. All right. Well, I think that's pretty good summary of what people can expect for Saturday.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
For anyone who wants to know more, buy your
Yes.
ticket.
Buy a ticket.
Come on.
If anybody has questions, feel free to reach out to us or the museum, the Edison Museum, and we will get back to you ASAP.
Definitely.
Thank you, everyone. Look forward to seeing everyone there.
Yes. Thanks
Yes.
for tuning in, everyone.
Yes. Thank you for
Thank
tuning in.
you. See you soon. See you Saturday.
Yes. Cannot wait.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We'll be going live too. So
Yeah.
watch out for that.
Lots of lives.
All right. Later. Bye.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.